Recording.
Hi, Dr. Lipp. How are you?
Doing well. How you doing, Jane?
Good, 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 good. Um, are you excited?
Excited, nervous, all of the above.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I picked some good, um, both informal and more formal questions.
Okay.
So we'll see what you think. Are you ready?
Yeah, hit me.
Okay. I also have another monitor. That's where I'm looking. So, okay.
Not a problem.
Um, if you had a theme song that played whenever you walked in a room full of people, what would it be?
I have the tiger.
Eye of the Tiger. Okay. Going a little 80s.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the original Rocky was a little before my time, but I kind of grew up on it, and that is definitely a theme song that resonates with me. It's very
Have you
mo
ever have you ever run up the stairs in Philadelphia?
I have, yeah.
Nice.
And the statue's there.
Yeah, I've heard this. I haven't seen it, but I have heard that there's a statue there.
Yeah, it's right there in the center of the city. It's pretty remarkable.
That's really
It's a very
cool.
cool city.
Yeah, that's very cool. Okay. Um, what is your favorite museum and why?
Uh, I would say the Museum of Natural History,
Okay.
in New York City. So, and the reason why would just be nostalgia. Um, as far as I can recall, it's the first museum I ever visited, or at least major museum.
Okay.
It's funny though, I've been plenty of times since, and I guess the older I get, the more I realize, these are just there's a lot of replicas in there. Not everything is an actual relic of the past, but
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, so like a lot of figures, but I mean a lot of work goes into maintaining this museum, but yeah, that's definitely one that is a nostalgic uh
Hmm.
piece for me.
Okay. What member of your family has had the greatest impact on your current way of thinking?
My mom,
Your mom.
yeah, hands down.
Yeah, yeah.
She's definitely a matriarch, and one that uh, was influential throughout my life, and is a big reason why I got into this field.
Okay. Is she also in the field?
No, well, education, yes. She was a languages teacher. She taught French, English, and Spanish.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, and yeah, she's so yeah, and here I am, an educator in the flesh.
Yeah. She's got to be proud. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
thank you.
Okay. So, if you had your own talk show, who would be your first three guests and why?
This is a good question.
Yeah, I like this one too because I was like, are they dead guests? Like, can I bring them back?
Just about to ask that. Alive
I
or
say let's go for it.
yeah?
Live or dead? I think that'd be pretty cool.
Okay. First and foremost, my grandfather. Never met him. I'm named after him. And yeah, being able to meet him or just hear his voice, you know, and just talk to him would be really cool. So that's guess number one for sure.
Okay.
Second guest, Mahatma Gandhi.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Um, I don't think I need to explain why, but yeah,
No.
being able to have just a conversation and interview him, wow.
Yeah.
Um, um, let's see, who else? I want to like say someone living, but there's a lot of good historical figures from the past. And I would say next would be, ooh, tough one, but I would say Benjamin Franklin.
Ooh, why Benjamin Franklin?
He's, everything I've read up about him, he's just brilliant. He was prolific in many areas of life. And it would just be interesting to find out what made that guy tick.
Yeah,
And ask him if he knows like how historical famous he is today.
yeah. I bet people who in history were, doing their thing probably never realized that they were going to be somewhat important or totally important.
Yeah.
I've thought about that too. So was it Van Gogh, I think, was like he was totally poor and like not a, people didn't really like his paintings, and then now they sell for millions of dollars, and I always wonder, and he cut off his ear.
Yep.
Like, so you're depressed and you think, you have low self-esteem, but today people love your stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, some, right, they're ahead of their time. And yeah, Van Gogh's definitely a perfect example of that. Do you know why he cut
Yeah.
off his ear?
I thought it was just because he was depressed. No.
He sent it to his girlfriend.
Oh, oh, because why not? I mean, that's apparently a very cool thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he definitely suffered from all types of mental health related issues, but yeah, he cut that off and sent it to his girlfriend.
Do we know what her reaction is? Because I kind of want to know now.
That is a good question.
Yeah.
Hmm.
If I was going to ask myself that question about the three guests, now I would put her on the list, I think, because I want to know what she would think.
Yeah, that's definitely worth having someone on a talk show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good 15 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. What is your favorite quote and why?
Hmm. Hmm. Ooh, I have a few,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go with one that's just resonating with me right now. I guess it depends on my season.
Okay.
But speaking of Benjamin Franklin, this is one of his, and it's tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one it spoke to me at various points of my life, and right now that's what I wanted to share with you.
Yeah. Well, especially as an educator, it's one of those things where um I know with me sometimes when so I'm a student in the PhD
Hmm.
program, but I've been teaching for a very long time. And so I noticed that, when I lecture, the students are asleep, they're not paying attention. But when I get them and make them do something, they're gonna, they're gonna learn, hopefully. And I just find it more uh, there's something better there for students that I think even for myself as a student works better.
100%. I mean, I know that's the only way I really ever learned. Like
Mhm.
didactic is great, but when you immerse yourself and get that real experiential aspect, that's when it for me, like it just always made sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's why I was never good at like chemistry or math because it's all memorization.
mm,
And I'd rather sit and have a conversation with somebody about something. and learn that way than having to memorize something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What are some incorrect assumptions people have made about you and or your family, and how did this impact you?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Incorrect assumptions. Who's assumed? Uh, the only thing that does come to mind is I don't know if my family, but I know which also shaped me and my identity. Um, Especially in college, there was a lot of assumptions made, or actually throughout my life, that of my religion. When individuals found out that I was Jewish,
Ugh,
caught them off guard.
absolutely. Have you been told you need Jesus a lot? I get that all the time.
So yeah, we're speaking the same language here.
Yeah.
Uh, no, I've never gotten that, or at least not to my face.
Oh no. I went to school in Michigan, and I had many people there say, "Well, you need Jesus." And I was like, "Okay." Like,
Thank you.
thanks.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely, yeah, everyone has an opinion.
Or
And
the you don't look Jewish.
yeah, gotten that, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, or yeah, and also, they'll assume of another ethnicity or origin. But yeah, definitely that you don't look Jewish.
Mhm.
And I've definitely asked, well, what do Jewish people look like?
Yeah. What does
And
that mean?
yeah, and
Yeah.
that usually kind of puts them on guard.
Yeah. My mom, people always think she's Greek
Hmm.
or Italian. And
Yep.
she's like, "No, I'm Jewish." Like,
And a lot of people don't know that that's more than just a religion, that it's an ethnicity.
yeah, absolutely.
Um, but yeah, I've gotten also when they hear New Jersey, I'm originally
Oh,
from New Jersey, and
mhm,
the black hair, I guess,
mhm.
I've gotten all types of stereotypes thrown at
Oh,
me.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Tons, tons. So, how did the impact part of it, how did that was there any time so now this is not on the list. I just want to know for my own personal. Was there a time in your life where you kind of shied away from telling people you were Jewish?
You know, and it's not something that I'm proud of, but yeah, when I had that experience quite frequently, um, during my undergraduate career,
Me too.
up in Massachusetts, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Um, I definitely probably was a little more reluctant and guarded.
Yeah.
And then as I grew into my identity and evolved, it's something that I am proud of.
Yeah. For me, it was the same thing. Undergrad, well, I grew up in a very Catholic town. I grew up in Aurora, Illinois. It's the second biggest city outside of Chicago. And so it's very Catholic. And we had so much stuff going on, but it wasn't like it was negative and it was bad. But for some reason, when I went to school, it was so bad. It was so terrible. And I shied away. I'm not proud of it also, but I did. I shied away and didn't tell people. And I grew up speaking a little Yiddish and doing the oys every time something happened. And I stopped,
Yeah.
and um, I remember there was a time the KKK was marching down um the main street on our campus, and I remember stepping outside and like on purpose stepping outside and watching, and the guy who was living next to me at the time was black, and so he and I are standing there, And I turned to him and I was like, who do you think they'd kill first?
Wow.
And having said that out loud, we both looked at each other and was like, and we walked back into the apartment building.
Yeah.
It was such a crazy feeling.
Mm.
Yeah. So moving on to something a little bit more fun. Now I want to know about, can you describe any traditions, celebrations, or rituals that are important to you?
Um, Absolutely. So, being that I'm Jewish, I grew up, observing the high holidays,
Yeah.
specifically Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and
Hmm.
Passover. Uh,
Hmm.
and of course, Hanukkah,
Yeah.
not a high holiday, but definitely
No.
one that every kid growing up enjoys, Jewish kid.
Yeah. Yep.
So those are traditions that I definitely value,
Hmm.
want to pass down.
Do you
Thanksgiving,
fast?
I do. Not always though, when I was
Yeah.
young, but now, yes. Um, aside from the traditional religious aspect, there's something, just very reflective.
Absolutely.
And so I definitely take part in that. How about yourself?
Oh, no, I fast.
Okay.
So, but it's funny because I'm older now and I'm like, I'm so hungry. But I go to my temple that I go to is weird in that it has all the different types of Judaism. So there's Reform, Conservative, and Orthodox.
Interesting.
And so on Yom Kippur, right? I'm there from like 10 till 3.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like serious. There's no joke about it. And so by 3:30 when I get home, I'm like, I'm gonna eat. God's okay with it. Like it's fine.
Break the
God's fine
fast.
with it. I'm hungry.
It's about the effort, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I think, especially nowadays, some older folks, right? They're on medication,
Yeah.
so you know,
There is a special dispensation in the Talmud. It does say that.
right.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's the thought, the effort, and the meaning. That's what matters.
Have you ever had a Rosh Hashanah shot of alcohol with your rabbi?
I can't say that I have.
Okay. So we had this rabbi, he died about 5 or 6 years ago, but all the old men, all the minyan would get together in the library after Rosh Hashanah services and they'd have 3 shots of hold on, it'll come to me. Some sort of whiskey. Can it
Shivas?
no, it's like
That's gone.
no, it's like it's got like a purple bag that it comes with. It's from Canada. I don't know. Um, and so he would bring the whiskey and the men would all drink their 3 shots or 4 shots. And one time I was standing there and I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, I'm ready. What are you guys doing? And he's like, come have shots with us. And I was like, this is what you guys have been doing for, 10 years. I'm in. I had to have my mom drive me home.
Well, that's what was getting them through the services all these years.
Yeah. Who knew?
That's a good story.
Yeah. It's I think it's one of the interesting ones. I don't know if anybody else does that at their temple,
I
you know.
cannot say that I grew up doing that at my
No.
synagogue, so
Maybe it's something you should start.
definitely sounds like a good tradition.
Yeah. Um, so now the last couple of questions get into um not so much your family or personal or Jewishness. It's more about community as far as like school and students. I don't know, are you a practicing counselor?
I
I don't
am.
Okay. So then a couple of these questions will work out well then. So How can you promote inclusion in our field within your own community?
in our field. Simply by, practicing what I teach, right?
Mhm.
And being the best, outside of the academic environment in my private practice, being the best professional counselor that I can be to my
Yeah,
clients, serving them, you know, right? The best advertisements, word of mouth. And I
yeah,
think that's how our profession has grown, um, especially right over these past couple of years.
mm,
The value of mental health counseling has really come to the forefront. And I can't say when I was getting my master's, I don't, are you a counselor as well?
I am. Yeah,
So
13 years.
yeah, yeah, when we were, you know, in our studies, right, counseling was definitely not in the forefront as it is today. Um,
Agreed.
so that's it, by being empathic, doing the work, um, and helping our clients help themselves. I think that that's what really, will bring everyone in.
Yeah. Okay. What advice would you provide to future clinicians or scholars about learning to navigate difficult topics or dialogue and creating safe spaces? And then why is this important? I can say it again. That's a long one.
Like the wheels are turning right now.
Okay.
Can you repeat it?
Yeah, absolutely. What advice would you provide to future clinicians or scholars about learning to navigate difficult topics or dialogues and creating safe spaces?
Um, be patient, be genuine,
Hmm.
um, and listen.
Yeah. And why are those important?
They let people feel like they are understood,
Mhm.
they belong. Um, they allow them to open up. You know,
Yeah,
um, that's it. It goes back to those basic, the basic person-centered stance, right?
absolutely.
Caring and unconditional positive regard,
Hmm.
empathy, no judgment. It's kind of like the golden rule, right? Treat
Yeah,
others as how you would wish to be treated, and that's it.
yeah, absolutely. Are you ready for your last question? Can
I'm
you
ready.
believe it? Last question already.
I lost, honestly, like, no, this was good. I lost count.
Yeah.
You're an excellent interviewer.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How do you advocate for your students and clients?
So my students, again, allowing their voices to be heard. Um,
Mhm.
and so if they bring an issue that needs to be um, brought to the department, I'm there. If they have a question, I'm as responsive as I can be. And if I don't have the answer, I either find it out or point them in the right direction.
Yeah.
And then as far as my counseling clients go, you know, in addition to promoting the profession, right, training the future counselors,
Hmm.
also some legislative efforts.
You've been able to work to advocate that way.
Yeah,
How has that been?
I previously was quite active in the IOC, Legislative and Advocacy Committee, you know,
Okay.
pushing for, um, addiction reform.
Mhm.
And also now in Florida, um, you know, providing better access to
Mm,
care.
mhm.
And Florida is definitely, I would say, at one point, definitely we're leading, and now everyone else is starting to catch up, which is welcoming.
Yeah. Was that hard to work in the legislative? I totally said that wrong. You know what I
Yeah,
mean, though. In that field and advocating that way, I don't. And I don't think I know anyone who has,
yeah. So, while it was not in a leadership role, um,
but you're
it,
still there.
yeah, and it's not, I would say government legislation, um, talk about bureaucratic system. It is very slow moving.
Yeah.
Uh, you learn the inner workings of it and the power of, there's a reason why there's lobbyists and why certain lobbyists get heard and others don't. Um,
Wow.
and unfortunately, you know, well, speaking of our profession
Mhm.
being recognized, right, as it rightfully should,
Yeah.
uh, there's a reason why it has taken so long and why it's still, not where it really deserves to be. And that is because certain lobbies are more powerful than ours.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Oh,
So I would say that's probably the challenging part. But then again, you don't know until you know, and it opens your eyes, and then you realize, ways to hopefully change the system.
yeah. I would imagine that it would be hard to be in government,
Uh,
you know, and having to pick out what's important, what's not important. And I feel lucky because I can decide, okay, well, I'm a counselor and I like counseling and I want to advocate for counseling. And so that's what I'm going to do. And in fact, I in my video, I was talking to Dr. Robinson about um, my multicultural class that I had with Dr. Dixon. And they always say, um, you know, look for the research that isn't there or what's missing in research when you're going to do your dissertation. And I came into this program like totally ready to do something about mentoring because um, I wouldn't be here without mentoring. And
mm,
then in Dr. Dixon's multicultural class, I'm, it's multicultural class. So I get to talk about being Jewish and what it's like to be Jewish and how fun that is. And I'm looking for research and it stopped in 2017. And I was like, oh, counseling, like research on Jewish, clients stopped in 2017. Well, I just found it, and so for me, and with all the anti-Semitism going on, here's me being like, okay, I'm going to advocate not only for my field of work, but for my people and say, you know, we need counseling and there's specific ways to counsel for Jews, I think. Um, and so I've been really excited about that, but at the same time, it scares the crap out of me because, you know, I I don't want someone to be like, they'll be fine. That's my people. They're not going to be fine. This is scary.
in fact, that's probably, how we got here. Well, part of the reason how we got here in the first place. You
Yeah.
know, I think it's, our culture, right? We've culturated and assimilated so much that, um, oh, uh, speaking of mentors, a past professor of mine explained, right? What's the difference between acculturation and assimilation? It's kind of like assimilation is oh wow, I'm messing his words up. He compared acculturation to salt, right? So like,
Oh, wow.
have you heard this one before?
No, but I like where it's going already.
So if you lose, you can assimilate, right? But hold on to your culture. And you'll be quite recognizable within the collective society, right?
Mhm.
But if you acculturate as well, you kind of become like salt, where you think about it, you can't see salt on food. It just kind
No.
of melts right in, blends right in. It's invisible, right?
Yeah.
So when one assimilates and acculturates, that's kind of what happens.
Yeah.
And I feel like, the Jewish culture has done that
Well,
remarkably well. And
yeah.
that's what, could be part of the reason, how we got here.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
That's why
Abs
I respect other cultures that are, you know, more outspoken.
Mhm.
I think we're getting there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so too. I think we're slow to change. I think those 40 years really messed us up. So, you know, it's okay. We'll get there, hopefully. Yeah.
Wander in the desert, right?
Yeah, those 40 years really, I think, messed us up. You know, my cousin was like, "I like to hike." And I was like, "How are you Jewish? We hiked for 40 years. What's wrong with you?" You know? So, yeah. She lives in Colorado. I guess that's what they do there.
Yeah, it's never been, but that's definitely a trip I need to take.
Yeah. Colorado is interesting. Like I
Not for
said, a lot of hiking.
I like snowboarding, so
Oh, well, that's
yeah,
where you have to go.
yeah.
Yeah. That really is what it, for me at least, Colorado is all about skiing, or I don't snowboard. I'm old. So I snowboarding was not a thing when I was young enough, and we just skied. So
Well, that's how I started out, and
yeah.
then I guess as I got older, I was like, "Give me that board."
Yeah.
Rid of these
Absolutely.
sticks.
Well, thank you very, very much for taking time out of your schedule and doing some Big Ten questions with me. I appreciate it.
No, thank you. Pleasure's
Yeah,
all mine. This was a great experience. It was very fun. And
I
again,
agree.
you're a good interviewer. You may have a future in another field as well.
There we go. I could be the next Oprah, right?
You need another Oprah, although
Yes,
those are some big shoes to fill.
absolutely. I had a teacher when I was doing my master's, who said, "Well, you're gonna end up on Oprah." And I think Oprah ended like years later, not like a lot, but like years later. And I was like, well, there it goes, like,
Missed the opportunity.
yep. Well, thank you. I really do appreciate it. It was, you know, coming from being asked the questions and then asking the questions, you know, it's good to be a counselor because we're used to asking the questions and not focusing on ourselves.
Sure.
So with Dr. Robinson, I was very nervous because I was the focus,
Yeah.
you know. So this was a lot easier because I'm not the focus.
Good to know. I have something to look forward to.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that, yeah, that's very cool aspect of this, kind of like the chain, right? Like
Yeah,
tag it. So kind of keeps paying it forward.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, Jane. You too. And
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Uh,